In today's video, we are going to have a look at a new tank out of the SuperTest. It is obviously going to be an in-depth preview, but it's of a tank we already know and love, and a tank we already knew and already loved. So now it is back. The VK2801 with 10.5cm gun. Yes, the DERP is coming back to the same tank where it used to be. And it looks fairly interesting, because it didn't really change that much compared to the things, or rather the tank, we had back in the days. That is why in today's video, I'm going to compare the tank with its former self and the two latest tier 6 premium tanks of the Scout Tech part. Yes, 350 alpha with AP rounds, but you're not going to really care about that. Sure, 64mm of penetration is doo-doo, 104mm of heat penetration is doo-doo. What you're going to care about is the 410 alpha with the 53mm of pen. Yes, the DPM is worse than what we had before, because we now have 9 seconds reload time and not 8 anymore. So that is a difference right there. The shell velocity is actually the same, 470 with AP and HE and 376 with heat rounds. The thing is though, both those tanks right here, the A46 and the Super Chaffee, they both will get obliterated by this gun, especially the Super Chaffee, as it only really has 25mm of armor. And you see that? It's almost double. That hurts. And please don't forget, with a 105mm gun, you have around 33mm of overmatchable armor. So if you shoot AP rounds and you hit, for example, the Super Chaffee anywhere, you should be able to 3 caliber rule your way through its armor, dealing always damage. Except if you hit the tracks and it goes underneath the tank, obviously. So yeah, it is a devastating tank against other scouts. It is basically a scout killer. The accuracy, on the other hand, go figure, boys and girls. It is a DERP. 0.55 accuracy, which is the same what we had before. 2.3 seconds aim time, which is what we had before. 10 degrees of gun depression, what we had before. What we didn't have before is 0.14 accuracy on the move. It is actually better than what we had before. 0.16 on turret, that stayed the same. Obviously, you can't really compare those values to anything which is a normal tank, like the Super Chaffee and the A46. They do almost have worse accuracies on the move, but not during turret traverse. And this is what is going to make the dispersion really, really, really big. Plus the 2.3 seconds aim time. That is, well, around 0.7 seconds longer than what the Super Chaffee has, and 0.3 seconds longer than what the A46 has. And that is obviously going to be a big problem, but you're not really going to snipe with the VK with the 10.5cm gun. That is not your mango. Your mango is to blow people up, you know? Whooms, because of your huge and massive gun. And to support this huge massive gun, you have pretty decent mobility. The mobility is actually nerfed from what we had previously. The top speed is not 68 kph anymore, it's 64. That's still better than what the Super Chaffee and the A46 has to offer. However, the engine actually got increased, the HP, from 650 to 700. And now we have actually a far superior power to weight ratio. Sure, it's not as good as the Super Chaffee, but it is better than what the A46 has to offer. And the terrain resistances are also fairly good, with 0.7, 0.8 and 1.7 for hard, medium and soft terrain. So that is also fairly nice right here. The turret traverse, 44 degrees, stayed the same. Hull traverse, 46 degrees, stayed the same. So nothing changed there. And it's actually better than what the Super Chaffee has to offer. The A46 is actually better in that regard, but the A46 is kind of a trash tank anyway. So now we have a reasonably quick light tank with a punchy anti-light tank gun at a tier where we have very little armor. And what does it offer as well? Pretty decent armor for a scout. 50mm on the hull, 30mm on the side. That's decent. Sure, it is not good. It's not what the Aufklärungspanzer has to offer. But, and that's a big, big but, this combined with this and this and this and a derp gun makes an incredible strong rammer. And that is, I think, everything you need to know if you are awesome epic guys. I really do think that Edwin and Swatch are going to look forward to go ramming speed and blab some enemy scouts away. Because you can start pushing the turbocharger on the tank, you know? And now you would drive around, if I'm not mistaken, 66 kph in top speed and 24 kph in reverse. That is very good. That is very, 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 very good. And it's almost as the same what we had before. And this can see tanks like the SuperTest or the A46 and ram them away. You can even bounce some stuff with this upper front plate armor, upper hull armor. And you can't really get derped itself. Like, imagine this tank seeing an AMD. The AMD has 75mm of penetration with HE rounds, which it should use mainly. Sure, if it hits the turret cheeks, it will pen. But the upper front plate won't be the case. You, on the other hand, if you hit it dead on, you're going to smack him for 410 alpha. Or you shoot AP rounds and you just overmatch again. 105mm in caliber. You have a little bit more hit points than what you had before. And it's a lot more than what the Super Chaffee, or rather the A46 has to offer. 100 more, that's a big deal. In the Super Chaffee, yes, 660, 680, it's only a little bit more. And you still have 380mm or 380 meters of view range. So that is nice, that is very nice. And again, the armor will be strong, it will be incredible good for ramming. So I'm sitting here now thinking, boy oh boy oh boy oh boy, VK2801 mit 10.5 cm L28 Haubitze. That's a very strong vehicle. And this is also where I'm sitting here like, remember the Super Chaffee? Before the Super Chaffee got released, it got hit by the Nerf hammer. It got hit by the Nerf hammer hard, which is obviously a little bit of a pity. You know, boys? It's just kind of sad to remember that before they released the Super Chaffee, it was a very potent scout. It was not obviously the best scout, but it was a very decent scout, you know? And then it got hit by the Nerf hammer. This right here were the pre-nerfed stats, and you couldn't see 1800 DPM. These are the post-nerf stats. The DPM got screwed up hard, and they nerfed a little bit of the hit points, without giving it really any compensation, except for worse gun handling on a move. So that kind of destroyed the Super Chaffee. And they just did it right before release, which was a little bit match, you know? So I kind of have a feeling this might happen the same with the VK, because at the moment those stats look very strong, especially because I can't really remember why Wargaming removed the HE gun off the VK. Another thing is, it is almost time again for a tank to be introduced for the well-deserved reward. This was 8 months ago. Sure, it would have been more accurate if it would have been 12 months ago. But yeah, the VK 2801 could be, in theory, the well-deserved reward. It could also be, obviously, a premium tank, like the ISU 152K. But I highly doubt that, to be honest. Because the ISU is a tier A premium, so it makes a lot more revenue than a tier 6 would do. So this tank is like basically perfect for the well-deserved reward equivalent, or stage, or position. As it is a tank which is loved by the veteran players, and it could be very, very fun. If it will be that, we don't know. We don't know yet. Wargaming didn't even say if this is going to be a premium or not. So we just have to guess what is going to happen. And I'm just sitting here and being a little bit worried. It looks like a strong vehicle at the moment, so I feel like because the characteristics are not final, we are going to see some nerfs for the VK. Second is, what is going to be, like, let's hope it's not going to be one day before the release of this vehicle. That would be bad. And the other question is, if they removed the 10.5 centimeter because it was too strong, why do they reintroduce it? You know? I already know that some people are pissed for seeing this. Other people are like hypers and see like Poggy's nice that is coming back. I'm sitting here a little bit undecided. I'm looking forward to see this tank, and it looks like a lot of fun. It really depends how Wargaming is going to introduce this vehicle, and especially how Wargaming is going to balance this vehicle, because at the moment, yes, you lose some DPM, but that's about it. It's a much more potent rammer than the older version, you know. So yeah, we'll see how this is going to go. And that is basically the video I had for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, let me know what I can do better, because that's literally why this is here, the feedback. And don't forget to subscribe if you all want to always be up to date. My name is RagingRaptor. Cheers and have a nice weekend.